You know that feeling when you have hours of raw footage just sitting there, waiting for you to find the gold? Well, I've got a neat little trick that completely changes how I approach that massive transcript file. It's all about letting that text do the heavy lifting for organization and highlight discovery. Honestly, this is where advanced tools start to feel genuinely magical in the editing suite. Think about the sheer drudgery of manually scrubbing through a 2-hour recording just to find one key soundbite. That manual process is exhausting and, frankly, not how we should be spending our creative energy today. A good transcript instantly transforms that messy timeline into something entirely readable and navigable. When an editor can actually parse that text, the software can slice the video into meaningful chunks all by itself. So here's my typical workflow when tackling a new long-form piece of content. First, I upload the entire long video file into the system for processing. Then, I wait for the platform to generate a complete, accurate transcription of everything that was said. Once that text is ready, I immediately head over to the designated sections area. This is the crucial hub where chapters, segments, or highlights are typically stored and managed. You'll see a very tempting button right there prompting you to auto-generate your video chapters. And trust me, this feature is absolutely not just some meaningless gimmick to get your attention. It actively reads that fresh transcript and intelligently looks for subtle topic shifts within the conversation. It also pays close attention to pauses, any significant tone changes, or even shifts in who is currently speaking. I've tested this on massive, multi-hour live streams and incredibly dense webinars with stunning results. In just a minute or two, the system spits out a completely formatted chapter list that aligns perfectly with the video timeline. This completely eliminates the headache of manually setting timestamps for every single segment. You no longer have to guess where those absolute good bits or key takeaways actually reside in the recording. The real power of this automatic chaptering is that it's rooted in the actual video data, not just guesswork. It's not some dumb keyword stuffing trick, it uses real machine learning to find conversational pivots. The system generates chapter titles that are usually quite sensible, even if they might be a touch long sometimes. That's the beauty of the first pass. It's totally automated and incredibly fast for you to get started. Then, you can quickly jump in and tweak those initial labels to perfectly match your specific brand voice. That tiny edit takes mere seconds but instantly makes your published clips look significantly cleaner and more professional. Now let's address the question I always hear. Does the transcript actually tell me who said what? The short answer to that is a definitive, yet sometimes conditional, yes. If your original recording came from a source that neatly tags each person's audio track separately, the transcript inherits those labels. This feature is an absolute goldmine when you're recapping business meetings or multi-host podcast discussions. However, if you're working with just a single mixed audio track, automatic speaker labeling becomes much more challenging. The technology can attempt to guess by analyzing cadence and vocal tone, but its reliability drops without separate streams. You might recall older platforms experimenting with face recognition and advanced speaker detection features years ago. But let's be real, privacy concerns and regional regulations pushed a lot of that tech right back into the lab. So, you absolutely should not assume every current platform will, or even should, tag every person automatically. A smart focus, like the one taken here, prioritizes what is stable and consistently useful for all creators. If the source recording provides speaker data, that information is beautifully preserved in the transcript. If not, the transcript still serves its core purpose, powerfully aiding chaptering and clip selection based on content alone. Let's pivot now to something incredibly valuable: top-tier multilingual support for global creators. If you collaborate with guests or partners who speak different languages, captions and transcripts become non-negotiable tools. This platform handles the transcription and captioning process for numerous languages without skipping a beat. Crucially, you can actually search within those captions to instantly jump to the exact moment you need. That capability is huge for content repurposing, opening up brand new audiences for your work. Imagine finding that perfect 2-minute anecdote spoken entirely in Spanish, for example. You can then pull that segment, instantly create English captions, and share it with a worldwide audience. Now, let's dive into the part everyone is truly excited about: turning long videos into potential viral short clips. There is a truly special feature here that I can only describe as auto-editing, specifically for those viral moments. Instead of me hunting through the transcript, trying to guess the punchline or the best soundbite, the tool does the hunting. It actively seeks out segments that contain high speech energy, major sentiment shifts, or critical call to actions. It uses intelligent analysis of density and tone to make a very educated guess about what might perform well. While it's never going to be 100% perfect, it consistently nails a surprising amount of potential winners. The incredible part is that you can take those suggestions, tweak a cut's beginning or end, and publish something polished quickly. This process completely bypasses the hours of tedious manual editing you used to have to endure. When you look at the current landscape, other products really only do parts of this entire process well. Some platforms offer beautiful transcription, but then leave you completely alone for the cutting and scheduling phase. Others provide fantastic manual editing tools, but they totally fail at helping you discover those key viral moments beforehand. Then you have the heavyweight enterprise tools that unfortunately lock essential features behind very expensive add-ons. The clear differentiator here is how this platform stitches all the most useful features together into one seamless experience. It merges transcription-driven chaptering, AI-powered highlight detection, and rapid clip distribution all in one place. It truly feels like combining the best capabilities of a prosumer editor with a dedicated social media scheduler. Speaking of scheduling, this is the area that truly lets creators sleep much better at night. You establish your posting frequency and platform preferences just once inside the system's settings. From there, the auto scheduler handles the entire distribution process according to your set cadence. You no longer need to babysit a constantly updated spreadsheet or manually push out every single short video. Simply pick your optimal posting times and choose your target platforms and let the AI manage the deployment. This is genuinely a game changer for solo operators who want a consistent online presence without hiring an entire operations team. To keep everything visible, there's a centralized and powerful content calendar view to monitor the flow. You get an immediate snapshot of what is currently queued up, what has already been successfully published, and what's pending review. It becomes the single source of truth, allowing you to easily reorder or temporarily hold any specific piece of content. Imagine ditching the dozen different tabs you usually need open for YouTube, Instagram, and your scheduler. This centralized timeline is both highly visual and fully editable, giving you ultimate oversight. That single step is how you guarantee you stop dropping balls on content output and start scaling predictably every week. Let's loop back to the chaptering sequence for a moment just to stress a practical point. After I initiate the generation, I sometimes give the screen a quick refresh if the video was exceptionally long. When the system finishes parsing that enormous file, I usually get a solid list of maybe 20 to 30 chapters from 2 hours of content. The names might not be absolutely perfect on the first try, but their location markers are almost always spot on. I then immediately leverage those generated chapters as the structural backbone for all my subsequent clip selection. It becomes a simple flow. Pick a chapter, instantly view the highlighted moments within it, and export those clips directly. For the regular episodic shows we produce, this allows us to batch out an entire week's worth of shorts in under an hour. Here is one very practical point that often surprises new users about these features. You often don't need an expensive extra pro license or a separate enterprise add-on just to get the auto-chaptering to work. Some competing services hold back that vital auto-generation feature behind much higher subscription tiers. The fact that this workflow remains accessible makes it much friendlier for small creators and indie studios watching their budget. Something else truly vital to call out is the level of retained editorial control throughout the process. The machine's suggestions are absolutely meant to be a starting point, never the finalized, unchangeable product. The system gives you the initial clips, but you always retain the final say on text overlays, trimming, and titles. You absolutely control the final voice and creative direction of every piece of content that goes out. The automation drastically speeds up your throughput. It never intends to replace your artistic taste. Furthermore, the AI isn't just looking for cheap laughs or dramatic moments, it targets actionable insights too. If you're running a software tutorial, the tool can specifically isolate demonstration segments or clear step-by-step tips. For interviews, you can pull out those powerful quotable soundbites that make for punchy, engaging short-form material. It even helps you find the core structural beats within a long presentation, like the intro, the Q&A, and the final recap. That organizational power is fantastic when you plan to repurpose one 2-hour talk into a valuable multi-part series. To offer a quick comparison, let's look at some of the competition out there in the space. Descript is amazing for manual editing and achieves great transcript accuracy, but it can get expensive quickly at scale. Other transcription services might nail captions perfectly, but completely ignore the clip discovery and later scheduling aspects. The true advantage of this system is its holistic approach, combining discovery, auto-generation, and direct distribution in one single workflow. You completely avoid the frustrating need to glue 5 different specialized tools together to get the job done. Finally, let's outline the most effective workflow I recommend for any creator needing a steady, reliable stream of content. First, record all of your long-form material as you normally would, focusing on quality output. Next, generate the full transcript and then immediately trigger the automatic chapter generation process. Review those automatically created chapter titles and give them a quick, final tweak to align with your voice. Let the system propose a set of potentially viral clips based on its analytical data from the conversation. Select the strongest clips from those suggestions, make any micro-edits required, and then queue them up. Use the auto-scheduler to place them directly into your content calendar based on your target cadence. You simply rinse and repeat this entire weekly cycle, turning one recording into dozens of unique promotional assets. If you are still editing every single piece by hand and posting content randomly, this new method will feel like true liberation. You stop asking the dreaded question, what on earth should I post this week? Instead, you start asking the much more strategic question, which chapters will actually drive the most audience engagement? The automation doesn't strip away your creative decision-making, it actually hands you the freedom to focus only on that choice. So yes, the humble transcript remains the true unsung hero behind all this modern efficiency. It's the engine that powers intelligent chapters, enables precise search, and makes captions undeniably useful. And remember, speaker labeling is still contingent on the quality of the initial audio source setup. Privacy factors continue to temper expectations around perfect facial or speaker recognition across all platforms. But for creators dedicated to transforming long content into a steady, high-quality stream of short clips, this is the path. The combination of transcript-based chaptering, AI clip suggestions, and the integrated content calendar is simply unmatched for scalability. This is precisely the workflow that this powerful tool was built from the ground up to support and enhance. Once you experience this level of automation, you will sincerely wonder why you ever spent time manually timestamping anything at all.